So here's my greenhouse that I've been building off and on throughout the pandemic. It's on the same footprint that the original greenhouse was. This little piece of land was a culinary herb garden, and this was one of her houses. She used to have a much larger one over here behind the shed, and a spring fed water system, and probably about a 40 by 60 greenhouse right here, too. That's for the future. I ran in power for the greenhouse underground and off to the barn, and did a bunch of work and used Protecto wrap to skin this greenhouse. It's tight as a drum. It's pretty cool stuff. I sealed up my vent. Right now in Tennessee, it's about 35 degrees. Had a little cold snap, and our goal for this greenhouse is year-round operation. So right now we're first time worrying about heat, and I think I've got a pretty cool system worked out, and so I'll want to show you and check it out. Let me know what you think, and see what I can do to do better, or maybe I've got something figured out. Okay, so one of the big things for winter time is I just put a screen door on either end of this greenhouse. So we picked up these quilts, insulated weather quilts. As you can see, it gets us in here pretty easily. A lot of precipitation built up overnight on the inside of the house, you can see. And what I have going on is basically parachutes with clouds of warm air. Seems a little crowded, but honestly it's just painter's plastic. It's seamed up with some little hooks, old curtain rods, and I can feel it. It's warm. When I throw my thermal on it, my thermal camera, I got no problem. I've got the thermometer set for 65 right now, and as you can see the thermometer in here, it looks pretty beautiful. What's that say? 66.2 degrees, 50% humidity. Close that back up. I might clip that a little bit, but honestly I put all this up in about 20-30 minutes. And what's filling them is the electric heat that I have underneath all the greenhouse tables. So I got about 37 degrees outside. Let's see, got a thermometer right there. 68.2, 47% humidity. And my thermometer, if you can see through the plastic, is set at it's set about 64 degrees. Before I did this, I was lucky to keep about 20 degrees of heat in this structure as a whole, but creating these simple parachutes, I don't think I have a thermometer at this end. This one is one long tent that goes the whole length. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to lift it up. But that would be the first thermometer I showed you. Would be most likely the temperature in there. And I'll fix that back up. But yeah, just a staple gun and a bunch of painter's plastic. Got this thermometer set about 65. So I'm doing this all with 220 extension cords. Let's see, I'll give you a better look at one underneath. Wired into 8-foot baseboard units, and I didn't want to deal with any conduit or anything, knowing that I was going to be moving this stuff. And honestly, I could move these things around in 10 minutes, and you just unplug them. Everything's very safe, water resistant. And then I have it chained off up to the level of the table with this little thermostat box here. And yeah, I've got them at pretty much the four corners. This one in the middle, I was just assuming I wouldn't need a fifth one. Ooh, this overlaps quite a bit. This is back to the first one again. So yeah, this is the other end of that big long one I showed you at the first time. And honestly, it's like I just needed in this situation just twos in the corner, the one in each corner. Sorry. So I can actually still even irrigate a little bit in there. Not like it matters much. We're so humid in here. And if I had to take these down to get into the plants, it'd probably take me 30 seconds. My ambient temperature in here, 55 degrees. So when it gets down to 20, we've had data available through the Wi-Fi thermometer. It's showing at most 5 degrees slippage all the way down to 20 degrees. The goal is to at least keep these guys at 60 degrees year-round. In Tennessee, end of January, February, you usually get about 2 weeks of 0 to 20, and that's going to be the real test for this place. Whether or not I need to wrap up tighter around the bottoms, but so far just with like a little loose ventilation and airflows on the top so the air can just keep moving, it seems like I've created a pretty amazing environment for tropical plants in Tennessee throughout the winter using nothing but a standard greenhouse skin. I may experiment with doing some biomass furnacing along the sides and heat sinking with the barrels all the way along the sides and putting up that next winter. But at this point I just want to prove that this concept can happen and the electricity won't cost all that much. I'm sure there will be costs, but so far from all my research I feel like I'm on one of the cheaper, safer routes. And oh, here's the other end, just showing you my panel box that I put together. I've got individual breakers for each 8-foot baseboard, so if one goes out, 3 will still be working. And each one of those plug receptacles is wired directly to the board. It's not hot wired, so it's a very clean, direct situation here with how this is dispersed. And when I hit my thermal cam on the 8-foot baseboard unit, it's usually reading at the dead cold about 121 degrees. So it's not even like they're really pumping that much heat out. So I'm encouraged. Let me know what you think. Everyone's got a different approach to this, and it all depends on where you live and what you're dealing with. We're trying to make a year-round situation for cool, rare plants. Feel free to comment or message. Thanks. Bye.